5 Caribbean women, 5 political empires, 5 fortunes built from the ground up in some of the smallest nations on Earth. Today, we are counting down the top 5 richest Caribbean female politicians in 2026. Their money, their power, and the unstoppable rise that the whole world is still trying to catch up with. Let us get into it. Coming in at number 5 is Sylvanie Burton, the President of Dominica. On October 2nd, 2023, Sylvanie Burton became President of Dominica and immediately joined an extraordinarily small and extraordinarily powerful group, the women who currently hold the highest political office in their nation anywhere in the Caribbean region. She did not get there overnight. She did not get there through luck or through connections or through any shortcut that the political world sometimes offers to people who know the right doors to knock on. She got there through decades of patient, dedicated work in civil society and government roles that built her a reputation for quiet authority and genuine competence that nobody in Dominica could honestly argue with. Her personal wealth is estimated at between $1 to $3 million US, built through long years of professional service, property holdings in Dominica, and business interests developed carefully across the years before she assumed the presidency. In the context of a small developing island nation like Dominica that represents serious financial achievement, and the financial security she has built for herself stands as physical proof of what consistent hard work and consistent smart decisions across a long career actually produce. In the end, sitting at number 4 is Portia Simpson. Miller was born in Woodhall, St. Catherine, Jamaica in 1945. She grew up in genuine poverty, real poverty, the kind that does not give you any safety net and does not offer any shortcuts, and makes absolutely clear from your earliest years that if you want something different from the life that is already laid out in front of you, then you are going to have to go out and fight for it with every single thing you have. She entered politics through the People's National Party and spent decades building her career from the ground up, not through family connections, not through inherited wealth or inherited influence, through showing up, through working harder than everyone around her, through earning the trust of ordinary Jamaicans, one conversation, one community meeting, one policy battle at a time. In 2006, she became the first female prime minister of Jamaica, and then she came back and did it again from 2012 to 2016. 2 terms, 2 historic moments, 1 woman. Her estimated net worth today sits at between $2 to $5 million US. Built through 4 decades of ministerial salaries, built through property holdings in Jamaica, built through pension entitlements earned from 43 consecutive years as a member of parliament. 43 years. Let that number land for a moment. Most people do not stay in any single career for 43 years. Portia Simpson Miller gave 4 decades and 3 years of her life to the people of Jamaica and never once made it look like a sacrifice. Time magazine named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world. The crowds that gathered to see her were not there because of political strategy or media management. They were there because they loved her, because they saw themselves in her, because a woman who started with nothing and became prime minister told every Jamaican who had ever felt invisible that anything was possible. That is not just political achievement. That is a legacy worth more than any number in a bank account. Portia Simpson Miller, number 4, Sister P forever. Landing at number 3 is Dame Eugenia Charles, the Iron Lady of the Caribbean. Dame Eugenia Charles served as Prime Minister of Dominica from 1980 to 1995, 15 years. She was the first female Prime Minister in the entire Caribbean. She was the longest-serving female head of government in the world when she finally retired. And she ran Dominica with a toughness and a clarity and a complete absence of self-doubt that earned her the nickname that stuck with her for the rest of her life, the Iron Lady of the Caribbean. A comparison to Margaret Thatcher that she accepted without hesitation because she knew it was true and because she knew exactly what it meant to everyone watching. She did not come from poverty. She came from a wealthy and well-educated Dominican family whose resources allowed her to receive legal training in England and Canada that produced one of the sharpest legal minds in the Caribbean. Before she ever ran for office, she was already a successful practicing lawyer with a thriving private practice and a financial foundation that was entirely her own creation. She did not need politics for money. She entered politics because she believed she could lead better than the people who were leading. And she was right. Her estimated net worth at the time of her passing in 2005 sat at between $3 to $6 million US. Built through her legal career, built through family wealth and inheritance, built through property holdings, built through 15 years of prime, ministerial compensation, and the financial entitlements of one of the most consequential leaders the Caribbean had ever produced. But the number is almost beside the point when you consider what Dame Eugenia Charles actually represented. She stood on stages with Ronald Reagan. She navigated the U.S. invasion of Grenada in 1983 with the kind of political courage that very few leaders anywhere in the world were showing at that particular moment. She modernized Dominica from the inside out across a decade and a half of determined and disciplined leadership. And she did all of it as a woman in an era when the world was still deeply uncomfortable with the idea of women holding this kind of power. She did not ask the world to get comfortable. She just kept governing, brilliantly, relentlessly, without apology. That is the Iron Lady of the Caribbean, and her name deserves to be spoken with the same reverence as any of the greatest leaders this region has ever produced. Arriving at number 2 is the current Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla. Persad-Bissessar, born in rural Siparia in southern Trinidad in 1952. Kamla Persad-Bissessar grew up in a world that did not offer easy paths to the kind of success she eventually achieved. She left Trinidad at 17 to study in England. She moved to Jamaica, where she spent 14 years teaching and studying. She returned to Trinidad to study law at the University of the West Indies. She became a practicing attorney. She became a university lecturer. She became Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, the first woman to hold that position. She became the first female leader of the United National Congress, and in 2010, she made history by becoming the first female Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, winning 29 of 41 parliamentary seats in one of the most decisive election victories the country had seen in a generation. She lost power in 2015. She spent nearly 10 years as the leader of the opposition, fighting and waiting and building and refusing to accept that her time was finished. And then in April 2025, she won again. The people of Trinidad and Tobago brought her back. And Kamla Persad-Bissessar walked back into the Prime Minister's office at 73 years old and got straight back to work. She is there right now in 2026, still governing, still leading, still completely and totally refusing to be done. Her estimated net worth sits at between $5 and $10 million US. Built through decades of legal practice in one of the Caribbean's oil-rich economies. Built through years of academic income. Built through property and business interests across Trinidad. Built through 2 terms of prime ministerial salaries and 3 decades of ministerial compensation. Trinidad and Tobago has one of the strongest economies in the entire Caribbean region. And Kamla Persad-Bissessar has been at the center of its political leadership for most of her life. She is 74 years old. She is the Prime Minister of a nation right now. She came back after 10 years in opposition and won. That is not just wealth. That is something rarer and more powerful than wealth. That is will. Pure, absolute Caribbean iron will that simply refuses to accept defeat as a final answer. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Number 2, back in power. Still building. Still leading, still the most determined woman in the room wherever she walks in, and standing alone at number 1, the richest, the most powerful, and the most completely unstoppable Caribbean female politician in 2026 is Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados. Mia Amor Mottley was born on October 1, 1965 in Bridgetown, Barbados, into a family already woven into the political and professional fabric of the island. Her grandfather was the first mayor of Bridgetown. Her father was a prominent barrister. Politics and law were not just career options in the Mottley household. They were a responsibility, a calling, a standard of excellence that Mia absorbed before she was old enough to fully understand. It in that she has never once stopped living up to since she was first elected to Parliament in 1994 at 28 years old. She has never lost a parliamentary election since. Think about that. 32 consecutive years in Parliament without a single electoral defeat. She became Attorney General of Barbados, first woman to do it. Deputy Prime Minister, leader of the opposition twice. And then in 2018, she led the Barbados Labour Party to a victory so total and so complete that they won every single one of the 30 seats in the House of Assembly. Every seat, by the largest margin in the entire electoral history of Barbados. She became the first female Prime Minister of Barbados. She led the constitutional transformation that made Barbados a republic in 2021, removing the British monarchy and completing a journey to full sovereignty that the island had been moving toward for generations. She is right now in 2026 the longest-serving female leader in the entire world. Still in office, still governing, still showing what Caribbean female leadership looks like when it is operating without limits. Her estimated net worth in 2026 sits at between 8 to 15 million US dollars. Built through over 30 years as a practicing Queen's Counsel lawyer. Built through decades of prime ministerial and ministerial compensation. Built through property holdings in Barbados. Built through the kind of long-term careful financial discipline that a woman who has been preparing for leadership since childhood understands completely. But here is the thing about Mia Mottley that no net worth figure will ever fully capture. In 2019, she stood before the United Nations and delivered a speech about climate change and the vulnerability of small island nations that moved world leaders and went around the entire planet. Her voice cracked with real emotion. Her words were precise and powerful and completely impossible to ignore. The room that contains the most powerful people on Earth fell silent and listened. To a woman from Barbados, from an island of 300,000 people, because what she was saying was undeniably true and because the way she was saying it demanded to be heard. She created the Bridgetown Initiative, a proposal for reforming the entire global financial system to give developing nations and small island states a fairer chance at economic survival and economic growth. That initiative has been discussed and debated and partially adopted at the G7, the G20, and the IMF from Barbados, from an island that most of the world could not find on a map 10 years ago. Mia Mottley put it on the map. And she did it with nothing but intelligence, courage, and an absolute refusal to accept that small means powerless. She is the wealthiest Caribbean female politician in 2026. She is the most influential. She is the longest-serving female leader in the world. And she is still going, still building, still turning that small island into a platform that the whole world has no choice but to pay attention to. Mia Mottley. Number 1. Undisputed, unstoppable. The greatest Caribbean female political leader alive today. 5 women, 5 Caribbean islands, 5 stories of power and wealth and an unstoppable rise that the world did not see coming and still does not fully appreciate. These 5 women did not wait for permission. They did not ask for space. They created space. They led with power. They built with purpose. And they rose with an unstoppable force that the Caribbean and the world are still catching up with. If this video fired you up today, hit that like button right now and subscribe if you are not already part of this family. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 5 incredible women inspires you the most and why. I read every single comment. Until next time, stay proud of where you come from. Stay inspired by what Caribbean women can achieve. And never ever underestimate the power of a woman who has already decided she is going to win. We will see you in the next one.